Coming up on UCF Nightly News, the presidential debates are coming up and there are many issues on the agenda, but student loans aren't one of them. We'll tell you when this issue will be discussed.
Looking to upgrade your phone, Apple just released some new technology for the fall. We find out how students reacted to the news. It's National Campus Safety Month and UCF PD are working to keep students safe. We'll tell you how you can protect yourself in a dangerous situation.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Dominique Del Corso.
And I'm Nalison Valdez. Today is Friday, September 11, 2015.
Elections are coming up and the Republican debate is this Wednesday. Yet, the candidates aren't talking about an issue that feels close to home. Right now, student loan debt is at $1.2 trillion. Brooke Savage finds out why these candidates aren't focusing on a problem that affects 7 out of 10 college graduates.
Kate Rossiter is a junior double majoring in hospitality and event management. Like most students, she studies for exams, she loves going to Disney, and she has student loans.
I mean, you have no free money whatsoever. Like, all of my money pretty much goes to paying my loans. I'm trying to pay them right now ahead of time so I don't have to pay all of them when I graduate.
Kate is not alone. A recent study by Advisors.com shows that 70% of 2015 graduates are leaving school with the highest student loans in U.S. history. Yet, not even half of the presidential candidates mention student loan debt on their campaign website.
Candidates from both parties often don't stress issues that are more important to younger voters because they know younger voters just generally don't turn out at high levels in most elections.
Every Wednesday, organizations set up tables right here outside of the student union, and students who walk through here can learn about specific political candidates and see what issues everyone is talking about.
I just don't think it's fair that we have to start our adult lives in debt. I think that education should be more of a right.
I'm more focused on if there's going to be jobs when I come out of college than just if they can lower student loans altogether.
Dr. Jewett says as young voters get older, student loan debt will become more of an issue to candidates. For Kate, it's a problem now.
I want to know who has the plan, who has the right plan.
In Orlando, Brooke Savage, UCF Nightly News.
To find more on what 7 of the presidential candidates are saying about student loan debt, you can go to our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Stanford and Harvard may have new competition. U.S. News & World Report ranked UCF one of the most innovative universities in the country. College officials from all over the country place UCF in 13th place along with Georgia Tech and the University of Southern California. The UCF Office of News and Information says that the university is innovative because of the direct connection program between UCF and Florida State Colleges and Limitless Solutions. One UCF professor, Sabith Vasu, has been honored by the Department of Energy for his work with a $1.1 million grant. Vasu's study used lasers and shock tubes proposed by supercritical CO2 used in generators instead of nitrogen. CO2 use in power plants is less harmful for the environment because it can be captured and stored. This is unlike nitrogen, which releases gases into the air when burned. Or prior, graduate researcher for the proposal says CO2 is also better for power plants because they use less energy.
Right now, a lot of nuclear power plants are cooled using supercritical steam, which is very hard to compress as well as being corrosive. So by switching with supercritical CO2, it requires much less energy or power to compress.
UCF was one of 2 universities to get funding for this type of project. The grant will be used to further develop supercritical CO2 research.
If you're looking for a place to express yourself, you can now sign up to start your own podcast. The new podcast studio is in All Night Study 2 by Feral Commons. This space may look familiar to some nights because Nightcast used it for their radio station. The director of the new studio says this is different than Nightcast.
It's like just kind of expanding it to where you can do voiceover work, podcasts, singing, and even instrumental recording. So my hopes and the overall goal for this is so students can have a voice, but also have an outlet for their creative expression.
To use the space, students can email their applications to podcasts@ucf.edu. We also have the email on our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Apple has done it again. On Wednesday, Apple announced its new iGadget line for the fall. Apple CEO Tim Cook announced the new line of fall products at a press event on Wednesday. The line will include 2 new iPhones, a new Apple TV, the iPad Pro, and the Apple Pencil. Nightly News spoke to many students around campus to see what they thought. Surprisingly, a lot of students said the products aren't worth spending the money.
I mean, it's nice and all, and my brother is probably going to get it, but like, I don't need to get it. I have a 5S, it's in perfect working condition. There's no point for me to, update now. I'm not trying to spend the money.
For those students still interested, UCF Tech Commons will have the products in stock around mid-November. And right now we have Matthew Johnson with our first forecast.
Matthew, how's the weather going to look for the weekend?
Weather's looking pretty good. It's going to be a pretty hot weekend, but some showers going to cool it off over the weekend. Today, the high is 92 with a low of 75. 20% chance of rain today, so if you want to get out today, today's the chance to get outside and do whatever you're going to do because it's going to be raining for the next 2 days.
Thanks, Matt. Last Thursday during the football game, 2 people damaged a Pegasus statue on campus, and the whole thing was caught on camera. We'll show you how this crime unfolded.
Yesterday was World Suicide Prevention Day. Nightly News takes a look at how one event helped raise awareness on this issue.
The UCF Police Department is searching for vandals who caused an estimated $1,000 in damage to the Pegasus statue. One of the vandals, as shown in this security video, jumped up on the statue named Wind Dancer and hangs on until the metal bends under his weight. The UCF Police Department officials says there's a detective on the case. Although there were witnesses to the incident, officials have no further information as to who did it. Crime happens everywhere, including here at UCF. In August alone, police say they answered almost 30 calls on the main campus. September is National Campus Safety Month, and UCF officials want you to be prepared in case of an emergency.
What would I have done differently? What would I do?
Sophomore Marnell Surin knows what it's like to be violated. Burglars broke into his home and stole his valuables.
Back home and everything was gone. You know, what if I came back home and I was caught inside that situation?
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement reports that Orange County had almost 60,000 crimes in 2014. Although that may seem like a high number, it's actually 2% lower than the previous year. On UCF's campus, there were 459 crimes in 2013, and almost 90 of those were serious crimes such as aggravated assault and burglary. Officer Peter Stevens says no one can ever be too cautious.
Well, here at UCF, when you first start classes, it's important to know what the safety features are of campus, and we have many different ones.
Those safety features include emergency email alerts. UCF officials are also hosting several safety events this month at the Student Union. Marnell Surin went to one of those events on Thursday and says he now feels better prepared in case something were to happen again.
One thing I learned is that just the knowledge of what to do if you're in that situation, because you can never think about the perfect thing to do because you don't know what's going to happen at that time.
If you're interested in attending the events throughout the month, you can find a detailed schedule on our website at www.nightlynews.edu.
Walking through Memory Mall yesterday, you couldn't miss the yellow flags spread across the lawn. Each one of those flags represents a college student who has been lost to suicide in the U.S. in this past year. CAPS and SGA teamed up to show awareness for them on World Suicide Prevention Day. There were over 1,000 flags on the lawn with inspirational messages written by people who stopped by. One student stopped to write her message to offer support to her fellow students.
I feel like it's important to understand that you're not alone, and when you're feeling sad or when you're feeling distressed, that there are always other people around you feeling the same way.
If you or a friend are feeling hopeless, please visit UCF Counseling and Psychological Services or go on their website for help. This Wednesday, students were in the Student Union pedaling for heart disease. The Student Union and the Recreation and Wellness Center teamed up to raise money for the American Heart Association Heart Walk. Students could participate by donating money or seeing how far they could pedal in 2 minutes. Matt Adams is the philanthropy director of the Student Union and says its goal was to raise awareness for the Heart Walk.
We're doing a great event. We're teaming up with the Rec and Wellness Center at UCF, and we've gotten this huge event to raise money and awareness for the American Heart Association. So we're trying to get your hearts pumping in the heart of campus.
The Heart Walk is tomorrow, August 12th at Memory Mall. The festivities start at 7 a.m. and the actual walk begins at 8 a.m.
In weather, Matthew Johnson will tell us if we need sunblock or umbrellas this weekend.
Plus, some students are leaving football games early. Leaving the stadium looking empty during the game will tell you how that lack of fans can affect the athletes. So last week we had some really hot and sticky weather.
Matthew, what are we looking at this week?
Well, guys, it should be more of the same. As long as you can see, we have a precipitation map up here. There may be a cold front coming down from the mid-east down here, but experts say that it most likely won't be making its way down here, so it shouldn't affect the temperatures. Now, if we're going on to our state map, you should only be affected. There's only one word you need to know, and that's hot. Because if you look, every single place down the near 90s, you see it's 90 nearly everywhere. So that's really all you need to know about the state. If you plan on going anywhere, only need to bring one pair of clothes, not even a change. So now going on to our 5-day forecast, you can go on and you can see that on Saturday the high is 87 with a low of 73, 80% chance of rain. So that's not the day you want to go out and do something, maybe cuddle up by the fire you have in your apartment complex and read a book, who knows. Sunday, high of 85, low of 73, 50% chance of rain. So you can risk going out and doing something. It is the last day of the weekend, but be sure to bring an umbrella. Monday, partly cloudy, 87% chance, 87 high, 74 low, 30% chance of rain. So it's a good day for school, I guess. Tuesday, scattered thunderstorms, 85 high, 75 degree low, 50% chance of rain. Wednesday, same thing, except 87 degree high. So really, not a bad week, but be sure to bring your umbrella with you. That's all for weather. Back to you, Dominique and Noslin.
Thanks, Matthew. UCF tailgating spots went online at 10 a.m. on Monday, and students snatched up all the spots in the first few minutes. Within 15 minutes of the tailgate, spots going online, the UCF SGA website was sold out. And UCF Representative Chad Benet says the feedback was overwhelmingly positive after the first game and after this week's quick sellout. But some students Nightly News talked to were still a little worried about how quickly it sold out. That's not stopping them from tailgating, though.
So I'm afraid that it's going to sell out even quicker, and I really want to tailgate next time with my friends, but no matter what, I'm always going to go out and tailgate because it's super fun.
UCF has used the reservation system, and officials have already gone on record saying it's not going to change. The date for when you can reserve your spot for the next game hasn't been announced yet, but you can check out our website for updates.
Tailgating may have sold out in 15 minutes, but what happened to that excitement during the game? By the time the game was over, part of the stadium already left. Brett West tells us why fans leaving early can affect the team.
Bright House Stadium is home to the UCF Knights and seats a little over 45,000 people. The Knights started their season against FIU, and at the start of the game, the crowd was loud and ready to go. By halftime, the Knights held an 11-point lead, but sections like this were starting to empty out. When UCF was kicking the potential game-winning field goal, look at the stands to see how empty it is. Dr. Bernard Jensen, a sports psychologist, says the crowd can influence the visiting team.
It's difficult to play in a hostile environment. Maybe we saw a little bit of that if you saw the Ohio State-Virginia Tech game last night, playing in Blacksburg in front of a partisan crowd there. Ohio State struggled.
That effect may hurt the visiting team, but it can also get the home team pumped up. Joey Grant, who plays on the offensive line, says the team gets excited to play in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, I mean, we feed off their energy. I mean, anytime you're playing at home and you got the Zombie Nation bouncing, it's always nice to have those students there and behind you. And we want to do well for them, and we want to do well for this university.
Dr. Bernard Jensen also mentioned that young teams are affected more by crowds. With UCF fielding 15 new players, the Knights could use the extra boost from the crowd. UCF's next home game will be against Furman on September 19th. In the newsroom, Brett West, UCF Nightly News. Back to you, Dominique and Noslin.
Thanks, Brett. You cheered for them. They had you on the edge of your seat, but where are they now? In sports, Lindsay Gerzina highlights a few former UCF football players and what they're doing in the NFL.
Plus, UCF volleyball team won a couple of tournaments over the weekend. Lindsay Gerzina tells us how it happened and what to expect next.
Hey Knights fans, I'm Lindsay Grazino with your sports update. It seems like all the Knights are on the road this week, volleyball, men's and women's soccer, and football playing away games. Let's look at how the teams have done and who's on the agenda for next week. Starting off with women's volleyball, the girls are on now 5-1 overall. The Knights won the University of Nebraska Omaha Invitational last weekend and only dropped one set. Leading the team was junior outside hitter Kia Bright. She was awarded MVP of the tournament after racking up 61 kills, 43 digs, and 10 blocks. She also got her third double-double at the tournament.
I feel like we really came together as a team. We played as a unit. The teams that we played really pushed us in. We had to earn every point. Nothing was given to us. They really did fight, and we just really had to be low air when it really mattered.
This weekend to play in the Diet Coke tournament. The tournament opponents include North Dakota State, UC Irvine, and Minnesota. Men's soccer is now 3-2, but has had tough losses this past weekend. Sunday, the men lost to Mercer 2-0, and on Wednesday, lost to North Florida 2-1 in overtime. Women's soccer kicked it into gear this past week. The Knights have 4 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. They beat Oklahoma State Sunday 2-0 and lost 4-0 yesterday against Florida State. Against Oklahoma, standout players include senior Ashley Spivey with a goal and junior Carol Rodriguez with a goal and an assist. Rodriguez was named American Athletic Conference Player of the Week. That is the second week in a row that the women's soccer has had this honor. The girls' next game is the 18th at home against Georgetown at 5:30. After a close game last week, football is looking forward to taking on Stanford in California. The team has been working on their running game, even though it wasn't successful against FIU. You can watch the Knights in action against Stanford this Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. Now let's turn to Knights playing in professional sports. In the NFL, Blake Bortles will start his second season this Sunday. He was just recently named captain on the Jaguars teams. Bortles and the Jaguars take on the Carolina Panthers at home at 1 p.m. Now on to Brandon Marshall. No longer playing for the Bears, Marshall will be in his first regular season start with the Jets. The Jets take on the Browns this Sunday at 1 p.m. in the MetLife Stadium. One of the most recently drafted Knights, Brashad Perriman, may not get to play the first regular season game for the Ravens. He is recovering from a knee injury since training camp. If Perriman is out, this might give another UCF alum, Kamar Aiken, the opportunity to start. The Ravens take on the Broncos at the Mile High Field this Sunday at 4:25 p.m. From American football to football, just about everywhere else, UCF alumni Sean Johnson has called up to play for the United States men's national team. The U.S. lost to Brazil 1-4 Tuesday. Although he didn't see any time in the goal, Johnson may be asked to join the team again against Mexico in October. Johnson plays in the MLS for the Chicago Fire, and their next match is against Orlando City September 19th in Chicago. That's all the time we have for sports this week. Dominique Noslin, back to you.
So we have Matt back at the desk with us today for the weather. So can you tell us what the weekend's looking like?
Yeah, we've had a lot of harsh heat and humidity lately. It's been kind of hard to keep my hair in place.
That's for sure.
Sure I can. You guys, you don't like the heat, but you may want to enjoy it while you can. Today might be the only day that stays dry with a 20% chance of rain. So today's really the day that you want to break out the swimming suits and get to the pool or do whatever you can outside, because on Saturday, 80% chance of rain with a high of 87 and low of 73. So that's leading into a day with a 50% chance of rain, scattered thunderstorms both days. So that's not your best bet. So if you're going to do something, I would say go out tonight and have fun.
That sounds good.
I'm going down to Miami, so hopefully there'll be a little better weather over there.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's same temperature all over the place, 90 down in Miami today, so I think,
nice.
I think it'll be fine.
Nice. I'll look forward to that then. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us. Again, our website is nightlynews@ucf.edu. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.